Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for being here today. My name is Ruby, and I'm the Marketing Manager at Gnosis Balasaf. So today, I will begin this session by giving you an overview on the emerging beauty market trends in Asia Pacific. After which, we will have Dr. Alessia with us to share with you the new scientific evidence on Quatrefolic and Emothion for skin health. So let's begin. So comparing the APEC supplement launches for key claims in 2020 and 2024, we see that the best growth is coming in skin, which grew at a 6 percentage point within this two period. So skin health claim is currently ranked number 2nd, just after immune health, and it accounts for 23% of all supplement launches in Asia Pacific in the last 12 months. So a little bit on China, more than 50% of the consumers in China are taking skincare supplements. And the reasons for taking them is really to stay young and healthy, to prevent aging of the skin, and to stay attractive. So we really have to understand what our consumers are looking for when purchasing skin supplements. So here we can see that more than 70% of the consumers consider vitamins as a very important ingredient when making the decision to purchase. And the next question to ask would be, in this broad category of vitamins, which one exactly will be the next engine of growth? So here we have two skin supplements containing Quatrefolic, which is a type of vitamin B9 as 5-methyl-tetrahydrofolate, or commonly known as 5-MTHF. So the first one is to make the skin more beautiful from within. And the second one we have as an example here is to really support women's healthy skin and bones. So what we see here really is skin supplements containing 5-MTHF is showing strong growth momentum in the APEC region, with an average annual growth rate of plus 41% in the last 5 years. So this significantly outpaces vitamin B9-based ingredients, which grew at a CAGR of 16% during the same period. We also have to understand, in this last 12 months, there is a huge, sharp increase in skin supplements with 5-MTHF, showing and telling us that vitamin B9 as 5-methyl-tetrahydrofolate is the next generation form of folate for the skin health space. Another ingredient in the beauty space that is increasingly in focus is glutathione. Glutathione supplements in the skin health grew at an average 45% CAGR in the last 5 years. This is a product from India called Acosma. It contains Emothion, which is a unique patented crystalline form of glutathione. This benefits skin health lightening, antioxidant, and liver detoxification benefits. Globally, more than 30% of the consumers say that they seek a healthier lifestyle to look good. This has driven a demand in the beauty-boosting functional F&B space, which saw a CAGR of 15% in the last 5 years. And here we have a beverage from the Philippines. It contains Emothion and is known to support skin elasticity and hydration. So if you are interested to find out more, please drop by our booth, Gnosis Balasaf, at E01 after this. I hand over to Dr. Alessia.
So good morning, everyone. I'm Alessia, a PhD student in the University Polytechnic of Marche in Italy, and it's a pleasure for me to be here to present the latest evidence regarding the Quatrefolic and the Emothion. So I will talk about the folate, the different folate forms present in the market, the folate metabolism, the role between the active folate and the skin, and the relation within the UVA radiation. And I will talk about the experimental setup that we performed to talk about, and then I talk about with the glutathione, and in particular the S-acetyl glutathione, so the Emothion, and a summary for the Quatrefolic and the Emothion. So what is the folate? The folate is a water-soluble B vitamin that is naturally present in the foods, and it also be added to others and available as a dietary supplement. So several studies have shown how a folate deficiency can accelerate the aging, and it can also impair the DNA repair, they reduce the cellular turnover, and increase the vulnerability to oxidative stress. And so for this reason, the folate plays a vital role in the DNA synthesis, in the cell division, and in the methylation. In particular, in the skin, it involves in the regeneration and in the reparation of UV-induced damage. So we have different forms of the folate. The first one is the food folate that you can find normally in the foods, and it must be hydrolyzed and is unstable due to the food processing and to the storage. The second one is the folic acid. The folic acid is a synthetic oxidized folate form that is normally found in the supplements and in the fortified foods, and it is not active, so it needs to be metabolized by the body. The third form is the reduced folate. The reduced folate is a calcium salt of the 5-methyl tetrahydrofolate. It's a natural compound with lower solubility and is present in an active form, so no need to be metabolized. The latest generation is represented by the Quatrefolic. The Quatrefolic is a unique glucosamine salt that is patented and branded. With this form, you can increase the bioavailability and the solubility, and you can find this folate is an active form. So also in this case, no need to be metabolized. And when you talk about the folic acid, you have to consider that the folic acid is not in an active form, is in an inactive form and need to be metabolized by the body through all these steps. So it must be converted from the inactive to the active body. With the Quatrefolic, you can skip all these steps that you can find in the figures and have at the end a readily available form for the body and for the tissue. But what is the role of the active folate in the skin? We know that the skin is constantly subject to renewal and repair, which is why the processes like the methylation and the DNA synthesis are essential. So the right level of active folates in the fibroblast can support the efficient cell division and the fibroblast proliferation, the DNA repair, and also the epigenetic regulation, which influences genes involved in aging and inflammation. So when we talk about the skin, we have also to consider that the skin is the UVA radiation is capable to reaching the Earth around 95% of the UV. They penetrate deep into the dermis, beyond the epidermis, that is the second layer of the skin, and induce the production of the oxidative stress by the ROS production, damaging the collagen and elastin fibers, promoting the photoaging, induce oxidative DNA damage, and degrade some key molecules, including the folate. So the solar radiation, especially in the aging skin, is capable to reduce the skin folate levels, and this folate depletion can impair the DNA repair, reduce the nucleotide biosynthesis, and disrupt the methylation patterns. And all these consequences can lead to genomic instability, impair fibroblast proliferation, and accelerate skin photoaging. So it's very important to maintain an adequate pool of the folate in the skin, and because if you expose the skin to the UV radiation, you can decrease the folate levels in the skin, and you can accelerate the photoaging, the skin cancer. So in this context, it's very important the 5-methyl tetrahydrofolate glucosamine salt, so the latest generation, for its potential to promote the fibroblast proliferation, enhance the collagen production, to enhance the tissue repair, and to exhibit antioxidant effects. So the study was conducted using an in vitro model of human dermal fibroblasts. We use the human dermal fibroblasts because, as I said before, the UVA radiation can penetrate into the dermis, and in the dermis you can find this type of cells. And the objective was to evaluate the modulation of the active folate content in UVA irradiated skin and unirradiated controls, and then we testing the potential photoprotective and regenerative effects of the quatrefolic, focusing on its impact on oxidative stress, DNA damage, and fibroblast proliferation. And to do this, we performed two different treatment strategies. The first one on the left was the preventive supplementation mode. So in this case, we treated the cells with the 5-methyl tetrahydrofolate, and then we exposed the cells to the UV radiation. And the second one was the treatment supplementation mode. In this case, we expose before the cells to the UVA exposure, and then we incubate the cells with the quatrefolic. With these two experiments, we analyzed the uptake of the folate during the time, the antioxidant effect of the quatrefolic, the DNA damage, and also the fibroblast proliferation. So first of all, we measured the uptake of the quatrefolic. In this case, we observed that after the UVA exposure, there was a decrease in the level of the folate represented by the 0. And the supplementation with the quatrefolic was able to restore the cellular folate levels, whether applied before or after the UVA exposure. So we confirm that the cells were able to uptake the folate during the time. After this, we measured the cell viability. So we know that after the UV exposure, the percentage of the live cells in green increases, and you have at the same time a decreasing of both the apoptotic in gray and the dead in brown cells. And with the treatment with the quatrefolic, we were able to improve the cell viability around 22% compared to the UVA exposure, and reducing both the apoptotic and the dead cells. After this, we wanted to analyze the antioxidant effect of the quatrefolic. To do this, we analyzed the production of the reactive species of oxygen, and we analyzed both the cytosolic and the mitochondrial. Regarding the cytosolic, with the treatment, we were able to reduce the UV-induced cytosolic ROPS production in a concentration-dependent manner, and we confirmed these results with the mitochondrial ROS production. And we confirmed that the treatment with the quatrefolic was able to reduce the ROS production, so to exhibit the antioxidant effects in the cells. So after this, we analyzed the proliferation of the fibroblast, and we treated, on the left you can see the negative control, so the cells without supplementation of the quatrefolic, and on the right you can see the cells treated with the quatrefolic, and we monitored the closure of the cells during the time, and we collected 1 photo per hour, and then we made a time lapse. And you can see from the video that the closure with the quatrefolic was really faster compared to the control. So it means that the 5-methyl tetrahydrofolate glucosamine salt improves the fibroblast proliferation and represents the new anti-aging strategy for a youthful skin. So in this graph, you can see the same results that I showed before in the previous slide. And so we confirm that the 5-methyl tetrahydrofolates is a very important role in the tissue renewal. And we also analyzed the DNA damage in the cells. To do this, we analyzed the DNA damage with a technique named the COMET, and we confirmed that the quatrefolic was also able to prevent or repair to the DNA damage. So at the end, we can conclude that we established that the 5-methyl tetrahydrofolate glucosamine salt promote key biochemical processing essential to maintain skin health, repair of UV-induced damage, and reduce the aging. So in particular, we demonstrate a dose-dependent uptake during the time, a significant reduction of the ROS production, so an antioxidant effect. It is also capable to mitigate the DNA damage induced by the UV exposure and to enhance the fibroblast proliferation and the collagen production. So until now, I talked about the Quatrefolic, so the 5-methyl tetrahydrofolate glucosamine salt, but in this context of the skin, it's very important also the glutathione, the master antioxidant. So the glutathione is a tripeptide made of L-glutamine, cysteine, and glycine. It has a powerful antioxidant naturally produced in our body, and due to its structure, it can protect the skin against the oxidative species production. But unfortunately, during the life, the level of the glutathione can decrease by the aging and the life condition. So you can see on the left the structure of the glutathione. The glutathione has several limitations, such as the slow and limited absorption, and also a low efficiency supplementation, and is not directly taken up by the cells. So at the end, a maximum of 30% of the glutathione remain for the body use. On the right, you can see the Emothion, a modified glutathione, where you can find in the middle of the structure the acetyl group. This acetyl group enhances the absorption and the bioavailability of the glutathione by protect the structure, and it also easily transported to the cells, and at the end, 100% is converted into the glutathione inside the cells. So the glutathione is very important in the photoaging. The photoaging is human skin can experience both the chronological and photoaging. The photoaging occurs as a result of sun-induced photodamage, such as the production of the ROS. And the Emothion is able to replenish the glutathione levels in the skin, supporting the skin cell proliferation protection against irreversible oxidation caused by ROS, acting as a shield and as a detoxifier. It's also important in the skin melanin. There are two types of melanin in the skin, the black-brown eumelanin and the yellow-red pheomelanin. And the ratio between the eumelanin and the pheomelanin determines the skin color. So higher levels of pheomelanins are associated with lighter skin color, and higher levels of eumelanin cause darker skin color. And in this context, the Emothion activates the lighter pigment production, contribute to a brightness skin. So a new clinical study with the Emothion was performed. In this study were involved around 90 healthy women, and the duration of the study was around 12 weeks, and the volunteers were divided into the three groups. One treated with the Emothion 200 milligram, one treated with the glutathione 500 milligram, and one treated with the placebo. So the purpose of the study was to evaluate the Emothion as a skin-lightening agent compared to the glutathione, and to analyze the transepidermal water loss as a secondary skin parameter. So this graph shows the skin lightening, and you can see that Emothion decreases the melanin score 5 times more than the glutathione after only 1 month of supplementation, resulting in fast skin lightening effect. And you can observe the similar trend after also 2 months and 3 months of supplementation. And then the study analyzed the transepidermal water loss level that indicates the skin barrier function, and a low level of this parameter reflects how well functioning barrier, including skin hydration, elasticity, evenness, and overall glow. So the Emothion was able to show a positive and 2.5 superior trend compared to the glutathione in maintaining the skin barrier function after only 1 month of supplementation. And also in this graph, you can observe a similar trend after 2 months and 3 months of the supplementation. So if you want, you can download the brochure, both from the Quatrefolic and for the Emothion. Scan the QR code that you can find here. And you can find also the brochure at the stand of the Gnosis. And I would like to thank to all the people involved in the study, and thank you very much for your kind attention.